Hi guys, how's it going? T-Rex Traveller Adam here. In this video we're going to be looking at the back, and specifically we're going to be looking at a resistance band high row. Let's get to it. Okay, so first thing you want to do is obviously set up your band, and by set up I mean you just want to find something you can hook it to. So I've just used the end of my T-Rex here, which I put through the door, but you can wrap this around anything. You know, you can obviously wrap it around a lamppost, you can wrap it around some tree, or sometimes you can even put it through your feet at the bottom if you're sitting down, and do it that way. But I would recommend, if you can, just try and find a secure point to attach it to. It just makes it much easier. Now, the high row, there's two main rows that I'd argue for a band, and even for a TRX. One is the high row, and the high row we lead with our elbows by pulling up and out. So that's really targeting the upper portion of our back. And the second one is the low row. So the low row we lead with our elbows and we pull down and in. The low row, I'll put a link to the video below. That's more targeting our lower back, and it's helping us develop that V shape. So those two are kind of the basic rows that you need to know. There's another row I do, which is where you put the band under your feet, and it's a real sort of it's a real hard one, and a real sort of power driver, that one. But however, this video will just focus on this high row. So once you've got it attached in, make sure it's nice and secure. Your positioning, you want to get it so there's a little bit of tension at the bottom of the band here. So I don't want to be standing here where there's not really any tension, because as we're coming back in, we're going to lose tension on the muscle and a bit of stretch. And these rows are great because you can really stretch the muscles out, especially the lats and traps, especially absolutely the lats. You can really stretch the upper portion of the lats as you come back down in the negative phase. So get it hooked in, get it nice and secure. And the idea is, you're always going to have to find and play with tension to find what works for you. But as long as you can feel some good tension there, we're really going to be focusing on the connection, the mind to muscle connection, to really work these. And we're just using a band to maintain tension. Ultimately we're focused on contracting super hard, yeah? So once you've got the band in, nice athletic stance, knees bent, just get yourself solid. I like to allow myself to be stretched, so I don't want to start this with my shoulder blades retracted. I want to be slightly protracted because I really want to get that nice stretch in. And to begin this exercise, don't think about pulling with your hands. Think about the hands as just being hooks, and you pull with your elbows. I know that sounds a bit strange at first, but if you give it a go, you'll start to feel that understanding. Your hands just hook, and it's the elbows that pull and lead, so they lead the up and out. And that's what we want you to focus on and want you to think of as you do these. So we're getting ready, and I'm going to now, I've got a nice stretch here, I'm really stretching out, and now as I pull back and I pull up and out with my elbows, I'm now contracting my shoulder blades back, and I'm pulling and I squeeze and I come right back in and I stretch. So that's a little bit too easy for me, so I'm going to take a step out, grab a bit more tension, and now I'm going to go for it. So stretch out, pull up and out and back down for 1, 2, 3, 4, and explode back up and squeeze and back down for 1, 2, 3, 4. Stretch and back up and squeeze and down for 1, 2, 3, 4. Now notice my elbows are leading up and out. I'm trying to keep my hands kind of parallel to the ground, but it's fine if they start twisting a bit. It's not too much of an explode. Everything I'm keeping in control. And the tempo that I like to use with bands most of the time is about 4 seconds on the negative phase, 1 second contraction up. There's no harm in staying there for an extra second, just to really squeeze hard, and 4 seconds back down. But you've really got to focus on feeling that contraction. You've really got to focus on contracting your back. So as I'm allowing it to stretch here, and I can even feel it, I can feel it stretching out my lats. And that's great, because we're taking the muscle through a full range of motion, a full range from a lengthened stretch position to a contracted short position. And that's how we're going to get good development. So we've got that nice stretch there. You contract, pull up and out, and squeeze and back down. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the stretch, and I'm contracting and pulling up and out, and I'm squeezing for 1, 2, 3, 4, and squeeze, and 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's it. The key thing is just to remember to lead with your elbows and just pull up and out. And as you get into this point, really squeeze as hard as you can your shoulder blades together, and really concentrate and contract in the upper portion of your back. Just think about that as you're doing it. Don't try and think of a specific muscle as of yet. Just really focus on thinking, right, I want to contract all the portions of my upper back there and really squeeze them. Yes, as you get more advanced, you can then start to think, right, actually, how can I really just engage just my lats, just the outer bits here, to pull and contract back. But I'd argue if you can start developing that minor muscle of your upper back as you're pulling, and you can just feel it contracting, and you're leading, you're pulling with your elbows up and out, and you're really squeezing hard at the top there, and then you're really coming back down and you're allowing a stretch, that's going to be fantastic development. And that's exactly what we're after. Controlled and just keeping tension on the muscle. Now, if you like that row, I'd recommend checking out the low rows as well, because they're just as good. If you marry up the high row and the low row, you're going to get great back development if you use these as primary compound exercises, and then you can throw in little secondary tertiary ones to target the smaller muscle groups or to develop weaker areas. So yeah, check out the low row video. Just always remember, lead with the elbows and push up and out. Hand position, it doesn't really matter too much as long as you've got them nice and hooked in. Just keep your wrists straight and just focus on leading with the elbows up and out. Hopefully that was a help. If you've got any questions, just leave a comment below and I'll get straight back to you. Thanks very much for watching.